Faction Wars. We'll have our friendly Shrek over here, so let me just get him on the team. Huh? What do you mean Shrek's not an orc? Shrek is an orc. Okay. What? He's an ogre. What's an ogre? You're telling me that's not the same thing, huh? So the whole thumbnail was just a big mistake. Yeah. Damn it. Well, we'll survive. I hope. Hello guys, Mr. Wednesday here, back at it with another video. Today we have another Faction Wars video, which you could have noticed from the title of the video. We'll be actually taking care of Orcs Faction today on 4-stars accounts. This is not the last video you'll be seeing on his account. We'll be improving it further, and I'll just jump straight into the champion builds, and then we'll go and take care of the 4 stages we have here. So, I do want to say up front, you will be seeing some really top tier champions here. You do not need all of them. You actually just need one. So from the 5 champions we'll be using today, if I had to choose one, the most free to play, let's say, champion I would love on my Faction Wars teams, if I was going for 3 stars, right, it would definitely be Vrask. He is awesome because you can basically just not book him at all. He's booked a bit here for some reason, and you do not need any masteries at all. You do want him in a relentless set, but again, it's not necessary. You do not have to have him in a relentless set if you cannot reach high HP, which you do want on him, and high speed, and you also need 100% crit rate at least. You do not need to go with a relentless set. You can go with any other set which allows for high HP on your account and high speeds. So why do we want that? We want relentless because because of his passive, he will heal all allies by 10% of his max HP whenever he inflicts a critical hit, which means no matter what skill he uses, he will heal you by 10%, which means 7.2k heals on every attack because of his 72k HP he has here. So we do not need any books, we don't need anything else, we just want high HP so he can heal us back up. I actually cleared Faction Wars on my account with Rask being a 6-star and then just 2 5-stars in Kriegla actually, and I believe it was Ergela who was 5-star, and then I had a Seer, and I actually forgot who my 5th champion was. Well, anyway, on this account we do have the benefit of having our good old Yorgi here, who's awesome. Who's really awesome for this faction because, again, he doesn't need masteries. I would advise booking him. We sadly had bad book investments here because the books just didn't want to go into his A3, which is the only skill you want book on him basically, because you do want him to be able to revive your guys back up whenever they die, if they die. So you do want the A3 booked if you can. Again, it's not a necessity, you can do it without him being booked at all. And you do want him in a region set preferably, or at least like 2-3 immortal sets, so he can heal himself back up and be actually able to stay alive to revive your other guys. So who will be using here? As I said, you do not need Duck, you can use Ergela, you can even go without the decreased defense champion if that's something that's not available in your account. So what we went for here is a little bit of speed, enough accuracy to lay down all the debuffs we need, and then just enough HP and defense to not die quickly. Do you need him booked? No. What I advise booking is definitely his A2. If you do want to invest books into him, you do not need A1 nor A3 booked. basically you can just shut off the A3. You do not need it at all. You can just go for A2. Do you need masteries? As you can see, no. You do not need to have masteries on him. He can be used without any masteries, so you do not need to invest neither the 1.7 approximately 1000 energy nor any gems into him. And we said the same thing about York and Vrask. Now, Seer is obviously top tier, so if you have her on your account, she'll definitely have masteries. There's no way you're not gonna give her masteries, right? So it's not like this is making our runs any different than it would be for your account if you had her. And I obviously do advise booking her at least A3 again. Her A3 is just the only type of skill that nobody else has, and that's why she's so amazing. And then we do have a benefit of having two warlords here, but we're not gonna use both. We will be using one. You can bring anybody else in instead of warlord here, because Rask is gonna be doing all of her healing. And then we do have the good old York here, I said, for the revives. So you basically do not need any of the things that the warlord brings, but we do have him, so I will obviously use him, because he actually does pair really good with Seer, given that he does give two different buffs on his A2. And then also obviously his A3 is just uncomparable to anybody else's. So we will be definitely using him here. So when it comes to him, he's actually built straight up for the arena. I'm not actually sure if the 3v3 takeover or this Faction Wars takeover will be coming out first as a video, so I'm not sure if you're already seeing how we built him during the arena takeover. But if not, here are his skills. We will be glyphing, his speed a bit further, because I do want him at least at 225 to be speed tuned. So that's something that we'll be doing actually. And then again, he has a little bit of HP and a little bit of defense and a lot of accuracy, because I just want him to be speed tuned with our first champion to go quickly and put everybody's skills on cooldown, and that's all I want from him in my arena team. And then let me just real quickly show you the Seer build. So we have 100% crit rate, attack unimportant, some HP, and then obviously enough accuracy to steal any buffs, and then as much crit damage as you can tackle onto her. She's in Savage, as you can see, and the crit damage set. You could go for Cruel set instead of crit damage, obviously, and I would advise really building her in the Savage set. It just brings to the light her skills even further. So without further ado, I'm just gonna do some speedruns here, so I do not bore you with basically showing you the whole fight, which will just prolong the video even further. Let me just grab our Yorgi here, and let me just check. Rilla goes out, Duck comes in, LA defense, okay, everything is set. I'm just gonna start it off here. I'm gonna show you how I would basically start each run if you do have a Seer, especially with Old Hermit, because you do want to be able to clear everything fast. So what you want to do is basically just click auto, and then as long as Seer does not decide to do anything stupid here, which she obviously loves to do, she will go always for her increased crit rate skill, sadly, which is fine. I'm just gonna let it go full auto here. I do not wanna manual anything unless we really have to. You can just fix her in presets to use the skill you want her to actually use always there, because she would just eat up all the buffs and be done with it, which doesn't happen there, and now we need to wait further for her to recycle back to the skill she has. And then as you can see, Vrask is actually doing his extra turns for the second time there, which is lovely since he is in Relentless, and that's basically what we wanted on him, right? So there we go, she actually clears it. Now here I would actually advise you to go after Blind Seer first, especially if you do not have a Warlord, because you do not want her to be placing block debuffs. You do not want her to be reviving people and then additionally putting block damage onto them. So just basically take care of her first, and then it's all good for you to clear the rest the rest of the 4 champions you see on the screen. I know I said I'll be just speeding through this, but I did want to do at least a little bit of explaining if you do not have these champions you see here on the screen, because I know for some people Orcs is quite rough, so I do want to just simplify it as much as possible here. So I believe there's no really rough waves, so to say, here, except for the Valk ones. So we will be going for a manual here just for a second, just for me to show you what I would do, obviously, to just clear it faster and not risk losing anybody, especially if you do not have a reviver. So we do need all our buffs, obviously, so that's sadly something we cannot just like exclude, but then just boom and we go along, and there's no problems till the end of this particular stage, so I'm just gonna speed it up from here on out. Okay, so we got to the boss fairly quickly, 1 minute, right? So here, again, like in many of her other Faction War videos, we have the same problems. We have Mirror Universe on A2, which basically means that he will be transferring all the debuffs he has on him onto all of our team, and then we'll be dealing with exchange remaining HP again. So the strategy is basically the same. We just wanna target the left ad for now, at least until the boss takes his first turn, and then after that we can just go full auto from there. If there's any struggles I find, I'll definitely just stop for a second when it comes to auto, and we'll go right back into the manual just for me to show you what I mean, or what I would advise you to do there. So let's just see what happens here. Oh yeah, he's gonna provoke us. Okay, so I'm just gonna speed it up from here and show you what happens at the end. Okay, so here we're getting to the part where he's gonna do his first... Oh no, he's actually not. He's gonna steal our buffs again, which is terrific actually. We can now actually time this. I'm gonna show you how I would go about it real quickly here. if you obviously have Seer, which is basically what you need for this to work. If not, it's fine, it's just gonna go its natural course and it's gonna get right back to where we actually want it to be. But I will try and actually show you real quickly here how you can do it with Seer if you have enough bots. You could always do this, right? And then just take a little bit more of his HP and then just boom. And there we go, faction wars clear. I'm actually really sad here, I do not have enough keys to show you the run again without the timing at the end, which we have shown here. But as you can see with Seer, this faction kind of becomes a joke, and I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely much easier for you to do. If you do not have her, all the same rules apply. You have some really heavy hitters in this faction, so you actually do not need Seer per se. She is not a necessity. She's like a nice thing to have when it comes to faction wars alone. That's the only thing I'm talking about here. I'm not saying she's not terrific in all the other aspects of the game, right? I'm just talking strictly Orcs Faction Wars here. So basically, we could have just re-geared our champions differently if we knew Seer wouldn't be bringing her damage here, and the boss would have transferred his HP through the transfer of HP skill he has, and in 12 turns we would just taken care of him again. And this team is, I'm fully sure, full auto here. So let me just show you the map now. This actually brings us right to the end. Lydia is finally ours, and we will be definitely using her in a 3v3 takeover that we have planned. So without further ado, I'm not gonna prolong the video by doing basically anything else here. I do like to keep many of them really short, so to say, because I hate wasting people's time, and I just wanna help you perhaps take care of your own faction wars and perhaps learn something new. So I truly hope you liked the video, and if you did, if you perhaps want to subscribe as well, that would be terrific. It really helps me a lot and the channel grow. And I just want to thank you all again. I truly appreciate each and every one of you equally. You really make my days much better. So thank you again, and until the next video, Mr. Wednesday signing out.